Midnight on the ceiling, blue light on my skin. The city's finally quiet, but the noise begins again. Every little memory, every unfinished scene comes alive when I close my eyes, like it's waiting just for me. I hear the footsteps of tomorrow, before the day is even gone. I count the cracks inside my focus, like I built my fear from thought alone. Everybody says keep going, everybody says be strong, but they don't hear the static playing underneath my songs. I wear a calm face in the daytime, like I'm doing what I should, but inside I'm breaking mirrors, turning fine and misunderstood. Every promise feels like pressure, every dream becomes a test, and the louder I chase silence, the less my mind will let me rest. Why do echoes never sleep? Why do shadows talk so deep? Why does one small doubt at night turn into 1,000 things by morning light? Echoes don't sleep, they run through me, turning whispers into waves, pulling me beneath. Echoes don't sleep, they keep their beat, even when the world goes still, they keep chasing me. But I don't wanna drown tonight, I just wanna feel alright. If I stay here through the dark, maybe I can hear my heart. Under all the noise that speaks, echoes don't sleep. Oh, 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 echo after echo. Oh, where does my peace go? Oh, I'm still breathing underneath, even if these echoes don't sleep. I compare myself in silence to 1,000 polished lives, to the versions people post when they cut out all the nights. I know better, still I do it, still I measure, still I bend, like I owe the world perfection before I've learned to be my friend. I tell myself I should be faster, I should know which way to run, should've figured out my future, should've already become someone. But maybe all this overthinking is just fear in a smarter suit. Maybe doubt keeps talking loud, cause I keep handing it the truth. Why do echoes never sleep? Why do wounds return so deep? Why does one small fear inside multiply the second I stop by running my mind? Echoes don't sleep, they run through me, turning whispers into waves, pulling me beneath. Echoes don't sleep, they keep their beat, even when the world goes still, they keep chasing me. But I don't wanna drown tonight, I just wanna feel alright. If I stay here through the dark, maybe I can hear my heart. Under all the noise that speaks, echoes. Late night, room cold, thoughts in a relay. One doubt turned 10 by the end of the replay. I know that comparison kills, but I still stay scrolling through another life like mine's a delay. Tell me why I turn every pause to a problem. Tell me why I make every question feel bottomless. Everybody wants to glow, nobody talks collapse. Nobody posts a fear attack, hiding in the gaps. I learned how to smile with the storm in my ribcage, learn how to freeze while I'm trapped in a sprint pace, learn how to nod when they say it gets better, while I'm writing my words on dissolving paper. But wait, if the dark only grows when I feed it in the lie, only rules when I start to believe it, then maybe I don't need to answer every sound. Maybe healing starts the second I put the noise down. If I let the night be night, if I stop turning stars to warnings, if I let one breath be enough, if I stop rehearsing morning, maybe quiet isn't empty, maybe stillness doesn't bite, maybe I've been calling fear true just because it talks all night. I can hear it, still near me, still circling, still trying to name me, but it's fading, I'm not breaking, I'm still here and I'm still breathing. Echoes don't sleep, but they don't own me. They can rise like a flood, but they won't control me. Echoes don't sleep, still I can breathe, even when the night gets long, there's a dawn in me. And I don't have to win tonight, I just have to stay alive. If I walk slow through the dark, I can still protect my heart. There's a truth beneath the deep, even if these echoes don't sleep. the ceiling, blue light on my skin. The city's still quiet and I'm quieter within. One voice says run, one voice says stay, one voice says you'll never be enough this way. One voice says breathe, one voice says hide. How many versions of me live inside? There's a war behind my silence. No one sees it when I speak. Half of me is chasing daylight, half is pulling at my feet. I got one side wanting greatness, one side scared to even try. One side says be unforgettable, one side asks, but at what price? I split myself to fit the moment, different masks for different rules. Trying to be who they'll applaud before I'm left with my own truth. I know the mirror shows one body, but I can feel the fracture line. Every choice becomes a courtroom, every dream a cross-examined crime. Who am I when all the noise is gone? Who am I without performing strong? If I stop becoming what they want to see, will there still be something left of me? Parallel voices in my head, pull me right, pull me left. One says rise, one says rest, one says prove it, one says don't forget. Parallel voices in my chest, tearing up what I call self. But if I listen past the fight, maybe both are asking me to survive tonight. Two shadows in one light, both trying to be right. Maybe I don't need to choose, maybe I just need the truth. The louder voice wears ambition, dressed in golden urgency. It says pain is just a payment for becoming everything. The softer voice sounds like caution, like a child behind a door. It says if you keep running harder, you won't know what you're running for. So I keep dividing my reflection into hunger, fear, and shame. Calling one side weak for trembling, calling one side fake for flames. Maybe that's why I feel hollow, maybe that's why I can't land. I've been treating every contradiction like a threat instead of human hands. Who am I if I stop the war? Who am I if I ask for more? Not from the world, not from the crowd, but from the parts of me I shut out loud. Parallel voices in my head, pull me right, pull me left. One says rise, one says rest, one says prove it, one says don't forget. Parallel voices in my chest, tearing up what I call self. But if I listen past the fight, maybe both are asking me to survive. Yeah, I got a fire voice, wire voice, says I need a crown. Says if I slow down once, then I'm letting everybody down. Then I got a tired voice, quiet voice, ask me what for, ask me why I keep bleeding, just to be something they applaud. And they clash back and forth like a storm across a frame. One says build a name, one says don't become a name. One says pain is fuel, one says pain is still pain. And I'm in the middle trying to pull meaning from the rain. See, I thought identity was choosing one side, be the fearless version, let the fragile one hide. But the truth got deep, it kept biting through the act. Cause the side I kept denying kept demanding to come back. So maybe strength ain't silence, maybe strength is integration. Maybe healing ain't perfection, maybe healing's conversation. Maybe every broken echo I've been trying to erase is a part of me still waiting just to be held in place. I don't have to kill a part of me just to let another breathe. I don't have to call my fear a flaw just because it makes me weak. I can be the dream and the doubt, I can be the wound and the healing. I can be unfinished now and still be real enough for me to let them speak, let them make, let them say what they say. I won't break if I stay, if I hear both in me. Parallel voices in my head are enemies. voices stay. Tonight I let them both be heard, and neither fades away. Round and round, don't I go? Same old road I've always known. Thoughts spin fast, but I stand still, chasing answers that never will. Yeah. Morning comes, I start revising everything I said before. Every word becomes a hallway with 100 hidden doors. I replay a simple moment till it turns into a maze. Take one feeling, bend it backward, lose all hours in the haze. Everybody tells me move now, but my mind is on repeat. I keep solving for a future while the present leaves my reach. Every path becomes a question, every choice another test. How can I decide a direction when my doubt outfolds my chest? I keep running in circles, trying to outrun myself. I keep chasing conclusions, then I put them back on the shelf. Running in circles, I know this road too well. Same fear, same fire, same private kind of hell. Running in circles, I'm tired of the spin. Every time I reach the edge, I fall back in again. But maybe the answer was never more speed. Maybe I'm not lost, maybe I just need to stop making storms out of every little signal. Stop running in circles, round and round, up and down. Same old doubt, we're in a different sound. Yeah, there are nights I make a mountain out of one unfinished plan. Tell myself if I don't fix it, then no one else will understand. I turn patience into panic, turn reflection into blame. Turn one pause into disaster just because it looks the same. And the strangest part of all this is I know exactly where I am. I know the shape of every spiral, I know the script in every end. Still I step into the pattern like it offers something new. But the circle never changes, it just changes what it uses to undo. I keep running in circles, like motion means I've grown. But moving isn't healing if I'm never really whole. Running in circles, I know this road too well. Same fear, same fire, same private kind of hell. Running in circles, I'm tired of the spin. Every time I reach the edge, I fall back in again. But maybe the answer was never more speed. Maybe I'm not lost, maybe I just need to stop making storms out of every little signal. Stop running in circles.
Yeah, loop after loop, I got a mind like a hallway. Thoughts doing laps, same pain in a new shape always. I treat every choice like it's life or death. That's why I can't breathe, can't think, can't rest. I said maybe if I think harder, maybe I'll gain control. But control turned prison and it swallowed the whole. All day gone, night gone, till I'm in the spin, trying to find the exit while I'm building it again. And the clock don't care how long I stay stuck. The world keeps moving even when I lose my luck. Still got life in my lungs, still got blood in my frame. So why keep defining myself by an unfinished name? Hold up, maybe progress ain't loud like that. Maybe peace ain't found by attack on attack. Maybe one true step beats 1,000 false starts. Maybe stillness is the map I've been missing from the start. If I stop, will the world collapse if I breathe? Will I lose what I have if I rest? Will I vanish too, or will I finally see what I'm meant to do?
Not every pause is failure, not every wait is fear, not every silent answer means nothing's really here. Maybe the circle breaks the moment I stand still. Maybe healing doesn't shout, maybe it whispers away. Running in circles, no, not tonight. I've been feeding every shadow, calling panic inside. Running in circles, I know the pull is real, but I don't have to follow every thought I feel. And maybe the answer was never more speed. Maybe I'm not broken, maybe I just need one small step forward without needing it perfect. No more running in circles, round and round, then one breath, then one stop. No one can hear what I don't say out loud. Yeah, I learned how to look unshaken, even when my hands go cold. Learned how to keep conversations while my chest is folding closed. Yeah. Everybody calls me steady, says I always seem okay. Yeah. But they don't see the hidden fractures under everything I say. It's a talent and a burden, how I turn collapse to grace, how I keep my voice from trembling while disaster floods the space. I can laugh and still be drowning, I cannot and still be gone. I can stand there in plain daylight and feel like I don't belong. How do you scream with a silent mouth? How do you ask when the words won't come out? How do you hold what is falling apart when the panic is quiet but it lives in your heart? Quiet panic, no one sees it. Looks like calm from the outside, but inside I can't breathe it. Quiet panic, soft disaster. I can smile through the shaking, but the breaking happens faster. And every little I'm okay gets heavier each day. Quiet panic, won't you let me speak my pain? I look alright, I sound alright, I move like light, but I'm not alright. I hate the way invisibility makes the damage look less real. How a wound without a spectacle gets denied before it heals. If I don't collapse in public, people think I'm in control, like the body only suffers when the suffering is shown. So I make myself smaller, try not to alarm the room, try to keep my fear static, try to panic without proof. But there are nights my pulse is thunder, there are days I leave my skin, there are hours I go missing without ever leaving where I've been. How do you speak when the shame says hush? How do you slow when your blood says rush? How do you ask to be held in the dark when you spend your whole life hiding the spark? Quiet panic, no one sees it. Looks like calm from the outside, but inside I can't breathe it. Quiet panic, soft disaster. I can smile through the shaking, but the breaking happens faster. And every little I'm okay gets heavier each day. Quiet panic, won't you let me speak? I got a doctorate in acting normal, even when my inner weather turns stormful. Even when my lungs lock up in the middle of a room, I can still say I'm good, let the light bloom. That's the danger, isn't it? The clean disguise, how the hurt stays hidden when it don't dramatize. How people trust the surface more than what's underneath. So I became fluent and smiling with no relief. And it's not that I wanted to vanish this way, it's just I learned early with the world, let's stay loud. Pain gets attention, quiet pain gets doubt. So I swallowed every alarm till I hollowed out. But listen now, there's courage in naming the ache. Even if my voice shakes, even if the mask breaks, I don't need a grand collapse to prove I'm in a fight. A silent panic is still panic in the middle of the night. See me even if I whisper, hold me even if I hide, hear me even if my sorrow doesn't show up on the outside. I am not less real for shaking where no one else can see. I am not less worthy just because I suffer quietly. Let it show, let it crack, let the truth call me back. If I speak, I won't die. If I cry, there's still light. Quiet panic, I can name you. You don't get to live in shadows like I owe the world to tame you. Quiet panic, I won't fake it. If I'm hurting, I can say it. I don't have to always take it. And every honest word I say lifts a little weight away. Quiet panic, you're real, but you won't rule me every day. Smile on my face, storm in my lungs. Now at least I know the name of what I'm from. Inhale, Inhale. Why does the air feel far away? It starts with something almost harmless, just a thought I can't release. Then another, till my body loses peace. Every fear becomes a siren, every doubt a closing wall. In the room I know by memory starts to feel impossibly small. My chest turns into a question, my pulse turns into a plea. Like my own mind built a wildfire out of things that might not be. I try to name the source, can't find it. Try to stand but lose the ground. It's like silence learned distortion, and now it only speaks in sound. Too fast, too much, too near, too rough. One more thought and I come undone. One more wave and I can't outrun. Too loud to breathe, too sharp to hold. Too much fear in a human soul. Too loud to breathe, too full of night. Like every shadow learned to bite. Too loud to breathe, but I'm still here fighting through the flood of fear. All I do is make it through, that is enough, that is the truth. Breathe in, hold on, breathe out, stay strong. Even if the dark gets deep, I'm not gone, I'm not beneath. No one sees the war emotion when it happens in the chest. No one knows how long a second can become without a breath. I hate how fear can feel so certain when it's built on shifting sand. How the body hears an echo and mistakes it for command. I tell myself the wave is ending, tell myself to let it pass. But panic doesn't speak in reason when it's moving through you fast. Still somewhere inside the noise there's a thread I haven't lost. A small voice beneath the thunder saying stay whatever the cost. Too fast, too much, too near, too rough. But one more breath and I'm still in this fight. One more breath and I survive the night. Too loud to breathe, too sharp to hold. Too much fear in a human soul. Too loud to breathe, too full of night. Like every shadow learned to bite. Too loud to breathe, but I'm still here fighting through the flood of fear. All I do is make it through, that is enough, that is the truth. Heart like a drum line, out of control. Mind saying run, though there's nowhere to go. Vision too narrow, hands full of static. Body in a room, but the signal goes frantic. I know this feeling, hate that I know. I hate how it hits, then pretends not to show it. Hate how the world says calm down, just breathe. Like I ain't trying with all that's left in me. But listen, I'm not weak because my body sounds alarms. Not broken because my nervous system's carrying those scars. Not feeling just because I need a minute in the storm. Not less because I've been before I find another form. So I count one breath, two breaths, ground under my shoe. Name one thing I can touch, one thing I know is true. This wave may hit hard, but it cannot stay forever. And surviving one loud night is still surviving all together. Air returns in pieces, not all at once. Calm returns in fragments, not all at once. But even fragments count, even pieces heal. Even if I'm shaking, this moment can't turn real. One breath and another. One breath, hold the color. One breath, name the room. One breath, I'm coming through. One breath, one breath. Too loud to breathe, but not too loud to live. Not too loud to fight for one more thing to give. Too loud to breathe, but not too loud to stand. Even with fear in my lungs, I'm still who I am. Too loud to breathe, still I break through the night. Still I keep one small flame, still I keep one small light. Too loud to breathe is make it through. That is enough, that is the truth. Too loud to breathe, but I am breathing through. Inhale, exhale. Still here, still whole. Maybe not unbroken, but alive and in control.